I got a chomp foot.
Like the whole like claw?
I got a little chunk of Bloodsport steel too, and that's cool, but I don't know that anything in my life has ever been as cool as this.
Oh my gosh. Hey, quick, before we get into this, we're letting you guys decide the next BattleBots team that we're going to interview. So leave a comment below, and whatever team has the most votes wins. Now, on with the show. Right, Tiny T? That guy. You had mentioned a tradition that kind of flows throughout the BattleBots realm.
So, I mean, for example, after the Sawblades fight, we got a good hit on the wheel. So, I mean, that wheel was no good for them. So they awarded it to us as a trophy. And the same for Sawblades, we gave them the top plates that they cut in half.
Yeah.
Cut to the top of our robot. That's sort of the thing people do after a fight. If you have, a piece that was just, ripped off or damaged that you can't use anymore, you'll, sign it, give it to your opponent.
It's a tradition.
Yeah,
we have a piece of Yeti up there. We've got
a piece of Huge.
We've got a piece of
You guys have a weapon wall of pain in your garage?
Yeah, all around.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
One of our most fun, Jason, you could tell them about Bite Force from Vegas.
Oh yeah, so the first time I was allowed to drive Whiplash in a fight was against arguably the best robot to ever exist, Bite Force. So I was very excited about it, but not too optimistic, I'd say. But anyways, how we were saying earlier, when we're in a bad spot, we'll use the arm backwards sometimes. I was in that same exact spot, and I brought the arm back over him, and I hit his weapon motor guard. So I have a part of the arguably best robot in the world from my first heavyweight fight. Fine. I think that was Bite Force's last fight.
All right, let me say that piece.
Piece of Bite Force.
So where we hit it?
There.
Oh my
And the
god.
piece is also bent if you want to hold it at like a perpendicular angle. I don't know. Sure.
Oh, man.
We have an arm from Tantrum that is pointy and sharp, and like he did sort of like a bone structure out of carbon fiber. Like, I'm pretty sure it's onyx. We also have a big chunk from Sub-Zero, which is pretty good. Rotator.
Do you have any of these pieces with you?
I don't have them here, no. We keep them in our presentation space because we do a lot of outreach through Artisans Asylum because they have a pretty mission-driven education aspect. So we have a lot of kiddos go through, and it's good to have like it right there. My last time I was in Boston, we actually went to the Children's Museum to do a whole segment on Valkyrie at like one of their tech nights and like explain everything, show out. It's way more fun to show and tell, and then you can actually point out like the fracture parts. But yeah, the one from Rotator is actually part of his like some of his armor, like a big panel that like ripped off because he has, I think, like welded titanium, and we just beat the hell out of it and make it fracture.
Chunk. That is a thick chunk that's missing.
Victor, this is a piece of Rotator that was torn off of Bite Force?
Yeah, this was from the Bite Force fight. So we were actually like, this is from the top blade, so we were like this, and he uppercutted that front edge, and I just, you can see that clearly right there.
Dang. It literally looks like a bite was taken out of that piece.
Yeah. This is all welded titanium. Even though titanium is light, this is still heavy.
So I've got half of the hammer from the judge.
Oh.
So as far as I know, I think it's me and Brian Neve from Captain Shredder. I think are the only people that ever took the hammer off of that robot. I got half of one of Witch Doctor's discs that we'd shattered. When I fought Bronco, he had these two spars up front with these wedge pieces on it to try to get under you, and I yanked one of them completely off. So I've got a few pieces like that. I've given away a lot of pieces like that too. So like in the match against Witch Doctor where we broke the weapon bar in half. So we signed the half of the weapon bar and we gave it to the team, and they take it with them everywhere where they go to do displays and whatnot. They take their half of the tombstone bar. I've got those, and I've got the fist I took off of Tantrum is out there. Some of the other stuff like that, and then the wall's just covered with, robot photos and stuff from my career.
I actually have the portion. This is one of my most favored trophy pieces. So after the fight, Jameson and Lucy and the team, they signed it and they gave this to me.
So that's where you hit that caused the explosion?
Yeah, I think this is the side this is the side where their flamethrower was. It's actually thicker than I was expecting. Oh, so another thing, I guess a side note about Uppercut and Sawblaze and our friendship. So obviously I said, we learned a lot about building robots from other builders, but we also learned a ton, obviously, by being a part of Jameson's team. And so our robots are actually pretty similar in overall structure. So obviously there's one's an overhead spinner, one's just a vertical spinner. But the back end of our robots are all made out of machined aluminum because you can keep it light and stiff. And also typically those don't take hits. And then the front of our robot is all welded steel because that's where you typically get hit. And it's much easier to cut out a piece of steel and re-weld it than it is to fix a broken billet part. Similar to Sawblaze, Uppercut has a machined aluminum frame, which is a little bit hard to replace. I would have preferred to only hit them in the plow, but I happened to miss and hit them in the machined aluminum part.
I mean, that you said it right as I was looking at it. That piece is thick, super, super, super.
Yeah. So I measured it afterwards just to compare it to what Uppercut has, and it's actually a lot thicker than what we have in our butt. I also happen to have another trophy. So this is one of the wheel guards from Hijinks, and my mom taped it back together, but yeah.
That is so cool. That's probably the coolest trophy I've seen so far.
Hijinks is a gorgeous robot. It's just awesome to look at.
I'm really glad that Alex kept that. I got a chomp foot.
The whole claw.
Yeah. Do you want to see?
Where is it?
All right, hang on. One sec. I got a little chunk of Bloodsport steel too, and that's cool. But I don't know that anything in my life has ever been as cool as this.
Oh my gosh! That is the chomp foot that Yasha spent so much time on.
So the camera on this does not do it justice. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of machinery.
I feel justice. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel some justice.
Get a little toenail clipping on him.
Ding. Ooh. That's so sweet. Is that on your wall?
It will be. So yeah, so since we just moved shop, the walls are still pretty barren, but I had to get a plaque and put the black velvet behind it and put the little winner's puck in front and keep it forever.
A beautiful red pillow, with a light on a marble pedestal.
Yes, that's even better.
Thank you.
Yeah, they've done amazing work. They've never not done amazing work. I remember seeing Chomp for the first time without the armor on. I was just blown away. I aspire to get there one day. I think what they do is inspirational. They're just so good.
They would love to hear you say that. That's so amazing. And they will absolutely hear you say that.
Stay tuned for next week's Keep What You Kill Part 2. And now I'm in space. Now I'm underwater. Now I'm in a volcano. Now I'm in the animal kingdom. Now I'm in the rainforest. Now I'm in a jar. Thanks for watching. As I'm in a jar.